Hey everybody, this is James Pelton. Welcome Saturday morning. I'm a little bit under the weather, so if you hear my voice crack, it's not puberty part 2. I'm just a little bit sick. But we are here with the team from Ace Miners and excited to talk with them. I consider these two to be mining experts. So they've always helped me in the past with my mining questions and talking through the atmosphere and ecosystem of mining in general. So excited to chat with them a little bit. If you're in the audience, first off, hope you're doing okay with the USDC stuff. Again, I just tell people, hey, take a breath, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So I was telling Zara I was up in the night, kind of checking it a few times. Just I have some USDC, and just trying to figure out, do I sell, do I not sell? But there's not a ton you can do about it. So just keep an eye on it and just stay calm and do what you can. So hope no one's freaking out about that. As we get started here, please hit like. That really helps YouTube know, hey, this is good content. We should show this to more people. So thank you for doing that. And let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you hold USDC. Comment that down below. And if you have any questions, whether it be about Ace Miners or, again, these two are great resources. We're just talking about mining in general. Go ahead and ask those questions. We'll talk through some stuff here. But if you guys have stuff you want to talk about, would love to bring that up as well. So Zara and AJ, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. Could you guys start out with just quick introductions? You've been here before, so you don't have to give us your whole life story. We know you pretty well, good friends. But just give us a brief introduction, and then we'll jump into Ace Miners a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having us, James, once again. As you mentioned, we are veterans here. We've been here before. So a little bit of background on myself. So my name is Zara. I'm the founder of Ace Miners NFT. A little bit on my background. I have an IT background. I started mining about 4 years ago. Initially, I got into the crypto industry through bot trading, and I was really interested in mining and creating passive income sources. So I actually just started from my apartment. I was really interested in Litecoin and Dogecoin mining, so I started with the L3 Plus, but I experimented a little bit with the S9, S17s. So initially, what I wanted to do is introduce fractionalized mining to the community, to individuals that wanted to learn more about mining, but didn't necessarily have the capital or didn't want to invest in their own miner. And also, as you know, with residential rates, they tend to be really high. So we wanted to be able to offer them an opportunity to get in with lower rates. So I also operate an ASIC vending company called Ace Miners Pro. And actually, that's how I got it. That was prior to the fractionalized mining. I helped a lot of my clients build their farms. They also initially started with just a spare bedroom in their basements. And then eventually I invested in a pod, so I was able to host a lot of my clients.
Awesome. And what about you, AJ?
So yeah, my name is AJ. I'm the operations and IT manager for Ace Miners Pro and Ace Miners NFT. I have a background in systems engineering and system networking. And it was an easy transition coming to the mining world. I was introduced to it actually by Zara a few years ago. And once I got introduced to it, I fell in love with mining and everything that it has to offer. So Zara pretty much introduced the whole thing. I will talk more about Ace Miners NFT, but that's it about me.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, great to have you guys back. So let's talk through again, assuming some people in the audience, I've done two AMAs with Ace Miners before, so you can go back and watch those. So we're not going to talk a ton about what the project is, but do you want to just briefly, for people in the audience who have no idea what you guys do, you talked about fractionized mining. We've seen a bunch, once there's a trend that's kind of working, there's a lot of people that jump onto it. So we've seen a lot of different mining projects pop up here. What would you say kind of sets you guys apart from the other mining projects? What's kind of your secret sauce compared to some of the others?
So Ace Miners NFT is a computer hash rate power as a service. I mean, what's unique about our project is that we're mining more than one coin. You get a hash rate in 3 different algorithms. We're doing script with Litecoin, Doge. We're doing Cadena, and recently diversified with Nervos. And the cool thing is that we pay out the rewards in native coins. So we're not converting to a stable coin like USDC, for example. So the holder will be able to verify their NFT through our dashboard. And the dashboard is actually live now, showing the live hash rates for all the algorithms that we're mining. Once they verify their wallet, they'll be able to submit their wallet addresses for Litecoin, Cadena, and Nervos, so that they can get the the rewards on a monthly basis?
So we're fully diversified, as AJ mentioned. So I would say that's what really separates us from other projects. You'll see a lot of projects that only mine Cadena, that only mine, Bitcoin, for instance, and we kind of wanted to mitigate our risk by providing multiple options. So initially we started with Litecoin and Dogecoin because that was my personal favorite. That was about a year ago when we first launched the project. And then we held a community vote to add in Cadena. And as of recently, Nervos, which has a high potential. So, we're kind of fully diversified. We keep all of our options open. So we're looking for, the next best miner out there. We do a lot of studying on the background as well in terms of network difficulty and things that are really important with mining.
Okay, very good. Good Times in Gold says not paying out in USDC too soon, AJ. We're in the middle of it. Too soon to make jokes about that, I think. No, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So, you guys, your mint is live, and usually I end with the call to action, but I'm going to just go ahead and post it here. This mint is live. It's been live for a while. How do you feel like the mint has gone? How have operations gone? Have there been unexpected challenges, or how do you feel like the last couple months have gone?
They've gone really well, James. I'll tell you what, we actually have taken advantage of this bear market. So we've gotten really lucky. A lot of projects that mint, they kind of want to get the mint funds all at once. We kind of did it gradually, and that really helped us dollar cost average into the miners. And as you know, they're very discounted right now because of the bear market. So we were really able to take advantage of that. So that helped us out immensely. A year ago, we actually thought we could only get 40 L7s when we first launched the project and thought about it. But as of right now, we've got 58 ASICs. So, and that's because of the bear market. So it's a really good position to be in, and it helps us accumulate these miners and just raise that value within each NFT holder. So our cap is at 2,000, but our value continues to rise with the compounding.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and we talked about this last time, but the bear market is the best time to buy the miners. I told everyone my horror stories of buying my KD5s for 50K that are now worth about 2K. Worst investment. I just did a video on my worst crypto investment. I think it was those miners. So this is the time to get into miners. So this is the mint page, and I'll leave a link down in the comments. You can mint with Ethereum. You also, I love this feature. I copied it in my NFT collection, but you can also buy with your credit card, which really, takes away some of the barriers for non-crypto people. Again, I have people ask, oh, how do I get into this project? And if they don't know crypto, I didn't realize how many steps you have to explain to non-crypto people. Whereas this feature, you can get right in. So love that. Question from the audience here. You kind of talked a little bit about this, but you're currently mining Litecoin, Cadena, and Nervos, you said. Are you planning on getting into Bitcoin mining? Again, that's what most of the other projects are focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always open to that. We have something very exciting, actually, that I can't speak on right now. But with Bitcoin, the reason why we didn't add it in initially is because of that high difficulty. And, we wanted to be profitable during a bear market. And so thankfully we have been, especially with the Litecoin and Dogecoin side of it as well. So we do have plans in the near future. But as of right now, we're looking mostly into, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Cadena, and Nervos.
Okay, very cool. And just again, this is your opinion, so there's not a right or wrong answer. But how do you feel about the future of Litecoin and Cadena and Nervos? We'll just do those three again. I think a lot of people don't know about those three projects or tokens very well. They know Bitcoin, but how do you guys kind of feel about the future of those coins going forward?
Absolutely. So we actually selected these three because of their potential. With Litecoin and Dogecoin, Litecoin has been around for quite some time, over a decade. It's very closely tied to Bitcoin. So I would compare it to Bitcoin. I mean, they do call it Bitcoin's little brother. So we wanted to be able to offer something that's low risk to our community. So Litecoin came into play for that. For me personally, I chose it because of that lower network difficulty. So if you look at the charts, it was released over a year ago now. And that difficulty has been pretty good. I mean, it has gone up, but the value of Litecoin has gone up as well. So it compensated for that. With Cadena, as you know, it's got massive potential. So I think we're still very early to that. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to introduce it. With Nervos, we actually did an AMA with one of their developers on Twitter Space. And so there's a lot of potential with Nervos as well. It's a very similar ecosystem to Cadena. So, we diversified with that.
Okay, very good. And actually, a sneak peek for my channel, I'm having the Cadena team on. We're going to talk about their future because I have a whole bunch of Cadena, and I really need to know what's going to be happening in the future. That's the plan. So, and welcome again to people just joining us in the audience. I see Pocket joined us. Graham says, Pocket, do you ever sleep? And I wonder that too. When I go to bed, he's on talking, and when I wake up, he's on talking. So make sure you get enough sleep, man. Very, very important. Another question from the audience, and I knew this would come up. This was a question that I had, so would love to hear your guys' take on it. What are you guys thinking and talking? Biden announced that he might be putting a 30% mining tax on. What do you think is going to happen with that? What are your plans? Is that going to affect things for you guys?
So it shouldn't affect us since Ace Miners NFT is registered overseas. And we also don't know exactly how they're gonna tax. Even though our miners are currently in the U.S., we don't know how they're gonna actually apply the taxes. Are they gonna be done at the end of the year, or is it gonna be something that's gonna be charged by the hosting company? So we still don't know. And also, we're fully hydropowered. And so what I've heard so far is this does not apply to renewable energy, only on the grid electric. So That's what we've heard so far.
Okay.
And the other thing I would like to mention, just to kind of piggyback on what AJ said, I personally went to Paraguay a couple months ago because I wanted to keep my options open in case something like this were to happen. So I visited a couple of hosting sites just to get an idea of how they operate, and I was quite impressed. So I do think it will be an option down the road. We were also in contact with Alpha Shares, and as you know, they're getting about 3 cents per kilowatt hour out in Paraguay. So I had a very interesting conversation with them, asked them a bunch of questions since I do have that experience after visiting Paraguay. So that's definitely going to be on our radar. So we're hoping to collaborate with them once their site is fully in operation.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, no, I had them on just this last couple days ago, actually. So yeah, it's great to see these collaborations. Can I ask, do you guys ever see these other mining projects as competitors? How does that work in your guys' mind and in their mind? It's kind of weird for me to hear. You guys are both kind of trying to do the same thing, but then you're actually collaborating together. Just how does that work?
Absolutely. So we don't see them as competition at all. We're all in this space together. There's plenty to go around for everyone. Also, we put ourselves in the other project shoes. So, there's no separation in that sense. So I think we kind of, collaborate and get together, and that helps us out, and, it's mutual. So it helps them out as well. So I think we take advantage of that aspect, and we've been able to collaborate with a lot of other projects too. So we don't see that as competition. I think if we saw things as competition, it kind of hinders us. So, we have more of a greater outlook as that oneness is really important. So.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think you're right. You guys going in together, the bigger the pool, the more negotiating power that you have. So I know they're happy to get more people involved. You can get lower electricity costs doing that. Also, they're not doing any L7s or any Nervos. So it's kind of a way to diversify out from, some of the other things that are going on. Mm-hmm. And also, too, for audience, I want you guys to understand that I think for mining, we want to bring in people who are not already in DeFi. So much of DeFi is just all these projects, and it's the same people getting into all the projects. And all my AMAs, I recognize, it's the same people that are here. But I think these mining projects, and especially one where you can mint with an NFT, with a credit card, is, hey, let's get in other people who are not in crypto. They're seeing banks are not necessarily a super safe place that we thought they might be. So crypto mining, I think, could be a way to get new people in. So I love that you guys have that attitude, and I know Hydra Whales is sending some machines to Alpha Shares, and just love to see that collaboration. So very good.
And as you mentioned, James, the higher the capacity they get, if they reach over 10 megawatt, then they can qualify for a lower rate. So I think it's mutually beneficial. And also with Paraguay, there's an abundance of hydropower out there. And so I do think that eventually it's going to become the hub of mining, especially if, the US tries to push us out of here. At least we have a backup plan. So we will plan for that. And, I have plans to go back and visit Paraguay to see how things are going.
Okay, very cool. Tim says electricity is 35 cents here in Massachusetts. So no crypto mining for you, brother. You will not make any money at all. Can I ask, I don't know if you guys have talked about it, but can we ask what you guys pay for electricity here in the States? We know it's 3 cents down in Paraguay. What you guys pay here?
Absolutely. We're paying 8.5 cents in a fully hydro-powered site. So being the fact that it's hydro-powered, it's a little bit more expensive. We did have the option to go with flared gas or natural gas off the grid for a lot lower in the 6 cents range, but our community really valued that hydro aspect, so we kind of stuck with that.
And especially since we're mining altcoins, they tend to be more profitable during bear markets than, let's say, Bitcoin. So we have that luxury of being able to get something a little bit more expensive and more renewable to limit our carbon footprint.
Yep, absolutely. I was going to mention that with Bitcoin mining, electricity price is the only thing that really matters too much. But when you get to the altcoins, it's more how the price of the coin as it goes up and down. Again, if Cadena gets back up to all-time highs, the KA3s will be making a lot of, probably thousands of dollars a day, possibly.
And their price is going to go up too, the KA3 themselves. So that's the same thing with our NFTs. We're building them in a bear, building all ththese utilities, lowering costs, electric costs, so that in a bull market, just like you bought the KD5 for $50,000, instead of right now a KA3 is about less than 10,000. So you can imagine that this NFT will triple, even quadruple, even more times 10 in a bull market, hopefully.
So painful. Let's change the topic away from Cadena a little bit. But yeah, and so people understand how altcoins tend to work. Is Bitcoin is kind of like, as Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins go way up, and then as Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins go way down. So they're kind of like a slingshot off of Bitcoin a little bit. So the bull market can be very lucrative for some of these altcoins, and I do like Cadena a lot. So very cool.
Absolutely.
So we have 230 left in the public mint. What's after mint? What's going to be next on the, once you guys mint out, what's next on the agenda?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, I'll let Zara answer this. Go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say we're going to keep building utilities for our NFTs, lowering costs, our electric costs. We're compounding right now. What that means is that we're reinvesting the mining rewards from the 58 miners that we have to go towards purchasing more miners before payouts are done in June. So what happens then is that we will dedicate hash rates for each NFT for 3 different algorithms, a power consumption for each NFT, just like you would buy your own miner. And we will keep working on lowering electric rates and also keep expanding the farm in the future as we go. So the NFT does not have an expiration date. Like, let's say a miner dies after 3 years. That's not what happens with the NFT. We're going to keep purchasing miners with some of the mining rewards, continuously increasing the hash rates.
Absolutely.
In the long run.
And you can take a look at our dashboard, James, which actually contains the live hash rate. And, we provide full transparency to our community to really give them that full mining experience. So just as if your miner was connected to your wallet, you can check on the hash rate, see whether or not it's live. So things like that really help us out and just give that full experience, which is, what we wanted to provide to our community.
Yeah, the dashboard is showing 26 L7s. We have 4 on orders that should be coming in early next week. The same thing for Nervo. 6 of K7s will be coming in next week as well.
Yeah, that's right. I do have a tracking number on those now, AJ, so they'll be delivered on Tuesday.
So
Very cool. I love this transparency. I don't see this from a lot of the other mining projects where you can actually see, hey, here's the Litecoin that was mined today. Here's the Cadena mine today. That's very cool. I love that a lot. Can you tell us how do the payouts work? When will those start? I have a couple Ace miners myself. So when do payouts start and how do you get those? And you said they're going to be paid out in native tokens. You want to just talk through some of those details?
Sure. So yeah, so compounding will be completed in May. The rewards would start getting paid out in June on a monthly basis. So you would be able to go to the dashboard that you're looking at, connect your wallet, that will verify how many NFTs you're holding. Then you will get a box, a prompt to submit your addresses. So you'll have the Litecoin, Dogecoin mining rewards are all paid in Litecoin because we're using Litecoin pool that automatically converts the Doge rewards to Litecoin. Then you'll have to submit your Cadena wallet and your CKB wallet. We will work on instructions and videos to share with the community because this might be something that they're not used to. But we wanted to give the full mining experience back to the holders by actually getting their native coins that they're actually mining instead of converting to stable coin.
Okay, very cool. And great opportunity for people to be educated too on some of these altcoins. Again, Litecoin, Nervos, Cadena. So I really like that a lot, being paid out in native coins.
And they have a lot more potential than stable coins. Some people will just hold stable coin and then in 5 years it's still going to be the same. With Litecoin, we expect, and all the other coins, we expect them to increase in value.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're paying out in the native coin to allow the user to get the full experience. And we encourage our holders to hold on to their coins during a bear market and not sell or convert until a bull. So, we do provide them with those instructions as well. I mean, they're free to do what they want with the funds, but, we do encourage them to hold.
Yeah, there's two ways you can approach it. And I've struggled with this with my project is you can kind of force people to do the smart thing, or you can say do whatever you want, but tell them here's the smart thing to do. You're free to do whatever you want, but here's the smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yep. And we found with stable coins, Ben says hopefully in 5 years the stable coin is the same, but yeah, that might not be true. So definitely get it. Brainswole would like to know when did this mint start? How long have you guys been going for?
So phase 1 started June 24th of last year and closed in August, I believe. Then we reopened the mint for phase 2 for 1,500 NFTs. We reopened it, I think, in September. So we've been going through, and we were compounding until June. So we have until May to mint out. That's what our deadline was. So that's what we started less than a year ago.
Okay. Very good. And you kind of talked about this a little bit already, but I'll go ahead and ask, but how many more miners are planned on being delivered until May?
So we're right now we have 230 NFTs left. We're hoping to hit, depending which miners, because as you know, the L7 K3s are usually more expensive than the K7. So that can fluctuate based on the market, but we're hoping to get maybe up to 70 with the remainder of the mint funds. Then we will still acquire more miners with the mining rewards until May. So we don't have a target yet. We don't know how much we'll accumulate. That's all depending on the market and the mining difficulty. But we'll get as many miners as we can.
Okay, very good. Another question, Gary C. What state are you mining from? Do you have your own facility or are you paying hosting fees?
So the mining farm, so we have a hydro-powered pod in Washington State. We also have a partner site in Oregon. They're both fully hydro-powered. And we're paying a flat electricity all in, 8.5. So there's no monthly fee in addition to that.
Okay, very, very good. And then I wanted to ask, and by the way, if anyone in the audience, if you have any questions, don't let me hog the show. I could monologue forever. But if you guys have things that you want to talk about, please ask those as we're going here. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about difficulty? So I know one thing people have been concerned about with Bitcoin mining is that it seems like we're kind of almost at the point where it's not profitable for a lot of people. How do you guys approach something like that with Litecoin or Cadena where, the price is going down and it might not be profitable? Do you just keep the miners on, or do you hope that others are turning their miners off, which makes the difficulty go down? Or how do you guys kind of think through that?
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to think about that, because Litecoin or Cadena has to be very, very low for us not to be profitable anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like having a Bitcoin miner S19, then you will be looking at the number, even at 9 cents, you wouldn't be profitable with it right now at the moment. But it's very different with the altcoins. Right now, I'm thinking Cadena has to go down to 30 cents for the K3 not to be profitable anymore at our current electricity rates. So it's still a long way to go.
Absolutely. And with the L7 specifically, a lot of people that are still mining using their L3s, the ones that have really low power, they tend to turn it off when Litecoin goes down in price. So then that helps us out with the L7s. That difficulty kind of goes down slightly. So it balances out.
Okay, very good. And I wanted to kind of show people there's bigger margins. These numbers aren't completely right, ASICminervalue.com. But you can see the L7s have quite a bit of room before they're in the negative. Whereas the Bitcoin miners, the S19s, they're kind of closer to the break-even point right now. And the KA3, like you said, has quite a bit of room to go. Maybe I could ask you personally, do you think I should be turning off my KD5 and KD6s right now?
Honestly, James, I know you're getting pretty reasonable rates in power right where you are. But honestly, they're in the negative. So I would say just go ahead and turn them off.
You just want the difficulty down, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're losing about $2 a day, James. I just looked up the profitability at 0.06 cents. So,
but I'm holding the Cadena. Maybe the coin could go up. So I've gone back and forth. Some days I'll turn them on, some days I turn them off, and it's just a painful experience for me.
At that point, just go ahead and buy Cadena directly.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's actually a good point too. Sorry to make this all about me, but what do you do when miners get to the point where they're not profitable? New technology comes out. Are you worried about that with with the L7s? What do you do with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been able to really pivot and navigate this industry. So just to give you an example, James, a few months back, we actually had a few KD Maxes running for our phase 1 holders. And right before Bitmain announced the KA3s, we actually went ahead and sold them. And so what helps me out is having the Ace Miners Pro, being an ASIC vendor, really helps me in that process, because I had a bunch of people that were interested in the KD Maxes. So I sold them, and then I used the funds to acquire the KA3s. So we're always on the lookout for stuff like that. We have close contacts within Bitmain that tend to, give us some information, as well as the secondary vendors in China, who usually are the first ones to find out this kind of info. So they usually let us know, give us a heads up, and then we act accordingly.
And we also invested in the latest miners. So we haven't invested in Gold Shell or IB Link, for example. We don't expect them to outperform Bitmains. So that's why we have the big boys with Bitmain, with the K7s, K3, and L7. So we don't anticipate another company coming and beating that competition. But we'll be ready if they do. So
yeah, that's one of my lessons I've learned, is do not buy non-Bitmain miners. They're just better at it. I mean, they came into the Cadena market and they said, Gold Shell, what are you doing? And then they just made this monster of a machine. So don't buy non-Bitmain miners. Graham says, sell them to Ace Miners. Maybe we can talk about that. Maybe you can take my miners off my hand. My wife would appreciate that. They're kind of loud. So
I definitely would help you out with that, James, because a lot of people in places like Venezuela, they're able to run these, KD Max and KD6s just because they're getting really cheap power, as well as, Russia, because they're getting about 3 to 4 cents. So places like that are interested in acquiring these units. So then maybe you could just, buy Cadena directly and just hold that. So
yeah,
but you wouldn't be able to sell them for 50,000, James.
Oh, really? Right, it's now not like a return policy. I don't have the Amazon. Just send it back, get my money back.
Nope.
That is too bad. Well, it would save me the pain. They're in my garage, and every time I go out there, I look at them, and I'm just like, So maybe emotionally, maybe it would help me out just to get those out of there. So we'll talk about that offline.
In 10 years, you'll probably be happy. You'll be glad that you actually invested 50K in a KD5. So you'll be fine. Yeah.
Let's do an AMA in 10 years. let's do an AMA and we'll see how my Cadena's doing and if it was a good deal or not.
The other option, James, is you can hold on to them and sell them during a bull market because you'd get a little bit more out of that. And also depending on, where Cadena is valued at.
That's a good idea too. Kind of keep them as an investment. So, okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I feel a little better about it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Little therapy session for me.
Exactly.
Can you tell us, so you guys have been minting for 7 months or so, 8 months. The people that minted 8 months ago, are they receiving rewards or is it all the rewards going to start at the same time or kind of how does that work?
So all the rewards will start at the same time, but we did send an airdrop right after P1 minted out. It was only fair that they'll get some of the rewards then so they wouldn't have to wait too long. But yeah, both P1 and P2 will start getting rewards in June together, but we did send an airdrop back in October for P1.
Okay. Very good. Awesome. And then we have people asking about the pricing again. Let me just pull up the mining page once again. So yeah, 230 left. So this doesn't mean 230 minted. This means there's 230 left. So we're getting near the end here. The price is 0.31 Ethereum, which I believe is $500-ish. Is that correct?
450.
450. Okay. And you can buy with your credit card. So using CrossMint, which I absolutely love. So again, I'll post this link if you're wanting one of these. Again, I think a great way to diversify, even if you're already in fraction mining or hydro whales or alpha shares or what's some of the gopher mining. There's been a whole bunch that have come through. But I haven't seen anyone else focus on the L7s. In particular, and Nervos. I haven't heard anyone else doing Nervos. So again, I think, diversifying is always a good option for people. So very cool. I did want to ask you too, again, while I have the mining experts here. So I've heard rumors that Doge is talking about going proof of stake instead of proof of work, which I assume would take a hit on the L7s. But again, I don't know how all that works. How does that, do you guys think that's likely to happen? How would that affect the profitability of the L7s? And just any thoughts you have on that?
I mean, if that were to happen, the L7s will take a hit because about 75% of the mined coins are coming from Dogecoin. But we did get some good news in December. The Dogecoin community came out, the developers came out and said that they're not working towards the transition to proof of stake. So we did like to hear that. We got confirmation from them. And I can put the link on under the comments on YouTube if anybody's interested to look at it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that would be great.
Yep.
Another thing we've seen too is that even if they do decide to go proof of stake, like with Ethereum, it took them 3 years before they actually were able to get it going. And so it might be a while, even if they do end up going that direction, which it sounds like potentially they're not. It could be a long time. Hopefully we're well paid off, by that point. That would be great. All right. Well, does anybody else in the audience? Those were my questions. Again, I love having you two on, and I save up all my mining questions till you two are on, and then I can just do kind of a dump here. Does anyone else in the audience have any questions about mining or this project in particular, or anything else like that? We didn't mention too that I want to go back to the homepage. One of the things we focused a lot on this in some of the other AMAs, but a woman-founded NFT project. So again, I don't get a lot of women on the channel. So Zara, always appreciate you being here. And again, just hoping to bring more women into the space. So yeah, really appreciate that. Can I ask kind of how that's been going, that side of things?
Yeah, no, thank you so much, James. You're always very supportive in that regard. And I'll tell you what, the majority of the men that I encounter are quite supportive with that. But, you do have a few that are like, well, women in crypto, they're not really, educated in crypto. And so I've gotten a bit of that. But thankfully, the majority are quite supportive. And actually, Sarah, who's our project manager, she's also a woman in crypto, and she did mention that it's a 5% total of women founders in crypto. So it's quite a male-dominated industry. So,
yep.
Yeah, but we haven't really struggled in that aspect, thankfully.
Okay, very cool. We'll keep working on that. And Tim says, "Happy Women's History Month, Zara."
I appreciate that, Tim. Thank you so much.
Tim is Aries. We
Yeah, that's
he's
right.
yeah, he's gonna host with us.
Oh,
Pretty
very cool. Very
He's
cool.
great. He's great. He's very knowledgeable in mining as well. Yeah, has a lot of experience.
Awesome. Tim, thanks for joining us here today. And Ben says, are any of us really educated in crypto? And yeah, the answer is no. None of us have any idea what we're doing at all. And I see the same thing. My YouTube audience, well, it used to be like 97% men, 3% women. And now I think we're up to like 12% women. So
Okay.
we're making some progress, but I still would like to see that continue. And I think, yeah, women founders are going to be a huge part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to bridge that gap, so it's really good.
Felix says James is so attractive. I know, and it's wasted with there's no ladies that watch, so it's wasted on you guys. So no, really appreciate that, Felix. All right, well that's all that I have. What were you saying, Zara?
You're popular.
Thank you, Zara. Appreciate it. Well, that's all the questions that I have. Do you guys have anything else? Anything you feel like we didn't touch on, or things that you're really excited about in the upcoming future? I know, Zara, you said you had some things you can't mention, but anything else that you want to share with us before we kind of wrap up here?
We also do have a giveaway, a big giveaway, a KA3 giveaway upon mint out. So we'll be giving away one full KA3 to a lucky winner.
Okay, and is that where do people go to see that?
By minting an NFT gets you access and entry to the raffle.
Okay, very cool.
Join our Discord because we do post a lot of those announcements, and we'll post the winner on our Discord as well. And just to kind of go back to the whole Paraguay thing, that's one of the most exciting things that we're working on currently. So I would say, that's one thing we're looking forward to. And then once I go back to Paraguay, I'll post some more information and, share some pictures and things of that nature. But that's our plan, to be able to access lower electricity, and then it makes our project more profitable for our holders.
Okay, and we really like that. Alif would like to know, what's the rate of return per NFT? And again, that's very difficult to calculate, and there's all sorts of crazy market conditions, and if you wait to sell the coin in the bull market and all that. But how should someone think through a question like that, when they're comparing like staking in a liquidity pool? They kind of know, I'm going to get 3% a month. How should someone think about an investment like this?
Yeah, it's very hard to give an ROI with a mining project because we're all relying on the hash rate power. So that's what we're actually selling to our holders, is hash rate power. And the hash rate power translates into mining rewards. The mining difficulty is always fluctuating. The coin value is always, so we can't give a set number of projected reward. But what we're going to do is dedicate a hash rate for all three algorithms to the NFT. And then the holders can go, for example, to minerstat.com, plunge in the numbers, and that'll give them what the daily expected return is.
And the other reason why it's a little bit hard to predict is that we're also in the compounding phase. So we are going to be accumulating and acquiring more miners. So that's going to increase that hash rate, and that's going to decrease that ROI as well. So it's a little bit hard to calculate ahead of time because miner prices fluctuate on a daily basis. And so it really depends on the market.
Yep, totally agree. I know people ask me, yeah, you can make some estimations by taking the hash power, and it's nice that you guys have on the dashboard the exact hash power of everything that's going on. So again, you can go here and kind of plug in some numbers, plug in how many NFTs there are, plug in the current price of the coin or where you think the coin might go. But it's too many moving pieces really for the team to say, oh, you're going to make 7% a month or whatever the case might be. There's just too many moving pieces in order to do that. So totally get that. Awesome. Okay. Anything else? That was great. Any other comments before we wrap up? Again, a pleasure to have you guys. I enjoy this. I could probably talk with you guys all day. But anything else from Ace Miners before we wrap up?
Thank you so much, James. I would say really just, the fact that we are a fully diversified project really does kind of differentiate between other projects. So if you're interested in getting multiple native coins that we're mining, not just, putting all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak. So that really sets us apart. And then also stay tuned for additional announcements that are yet to come that will benefit our current holders. And we're really looking forward to offering rates at 3 cents per kilowatt hour to our community as well.
Okay, yeah, that
And
would
just
be game changer.
Yeah, and just to add one more thing, like Ace Miners NFT is an actual real life utility. It's not a Ponzi scheme, not DeFi project that we can print money out of thin air. So we're purchasing miners with the mint funds, and those mining rewards will go back to the holders. And like you said, James, when you got your I hate to go back to the KD5 at $50,000, but in a bull market, these prices will only go up, and which means the NFT price will also go up as well.
Absolutely. And when you're in doubt, just kind of zoom out because it's a long-term project. So, don't really be frightened. And also, bear markets create the most opportunities. Statistically, it's been proven that really, people can get really wealthy, by entering into a bear market. So really, this is the only time to launch a project, to purchase miners, to invest in crypto. So don't let those numbers kind of freak you out.
I love that. I'm gonna coin that phrase, Zara. When in doubt, zoom out.
Yep.
I'm gonna use that. I like that a lot. That's good advice. Gary C says your team and community seem pretty solid. I'm now convinced to mint. I also love supporting women founders in the Web3 space. So thank you, Gary. Appreciate it, brother.
We really appreciate that, Gary. Thanks a lot.
And Ben had a suggestion. Any thoughts on expansion after mint out? I'm thinking of selling hash rate power-ups. Have you guys thought about other NFTs, bonuses, or anything like that? Have you thought about any of that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. So this is something that we're working on, and we do have to wait a little bit before we reveal more information, but our community is going to be quite surprised. And then James will be back on your platform once it's finalized to announce it. But, it's going to have a lot to do with those lower rates, and it's going to affect our community in such a great way.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, it's such a cool partnership opportunity with Alpha Shares too, because then you can kind of share the setup fees and all that. If you're going to go set up your own place, there's going to be a lot of startup costs, and if you guys can all pool that together, it's kind of a win-win situation for a lot of people. And AJ, one thing I wanted to emphasize that you said, the fact that they're not able to say an exact return on your NFT is a good indicator that they are not a Ponzi scheme, because what I see with Ponzi's is they guarantee we're going to do this amount. And it's like, there's so many factors. There's no way you can guarantee something like that without just paying out from someone else's funds. That's the only way that you can say we're going to do this amount per month. So this is what I prefer, our projects where, hey, we're going to make you as much money as we can do. We're going to squeeze out as much as we can. We're going to get electricity as low as we can, hash rate up as high as we can, and then we'll just give you what we are able to get. And I love that transparency. And again, you've taken it to a new level with the dashboard showing, exactly, here's the hash rate that's going. So love that. Thank you guys for that transparency.
Absolutely.
Yep, and we also add that we have a channel, our Discord mining rewards allocation, where we put in anything that's been taken out of the mining wallet, for example, to purchase more miners. So that's in there and transparent to our community as well.
Okay, very cool. All right, well, let's wrap up here. Again, marketing guy, I'm going to end with call to action. mint.aceminersnft.io. I'll post the link there. Mint is live now. You can mint, you can increase your quantity. If you want to get more, it'll tell you how much Ethereum you need to do that. You can buy with credit card, and every mint is going to be an entry into a raffle to win a KA3. Is that a KA3 you'll send to them, or you're going to host it with you guys?
So
totally up to the holder. Yep.
Yeah, totally up to them. We'll be happy to host it for them, or we can ship it. So hopefully, James, you'll win that KA3 to make up for that KD6.
Oh, my wife would laugh so hard if I got another Cadena miner. She'd say, "What? I thought you didn't like your other ones." So
I know. Your wife would kick you out of there.
She probably would.
But at least this one would be free. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
That probably wouldn't bother her quite as much. So
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hey, audience, thank you guys. You've been amazing. Great questions. Thanks for hopping on a Saturday. Again, I enjoy, some people say, oh, you should take Saturday off. That's the day off. But I enjoy talks like this, talking through crypto mining. No one in my real life ever wants to do it. I try talking about crypto or mining, and I was trying to explain to people the gravity of the USDC stuff last night. Nobody cares. So it's great having you guys around. And Zara and AJ, always a pleasure. Thank you for hopping on and talking through stuff with us.
Absolutely, James. Thank you once again for having us. You're such an amazing host, and your community is great. So it really, reflects that. So about yourself. So that's amazing. Thank you once again for everyone that tuned in, and we'll touch base again, James. We'll be back on very soon.
That'd be great. You guys are welcome anytime. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks,
All
James.
right. Take care, everybody.